onto the subject of self-driving cars, we also face a couple of very interesting situations that require thoughtful solutions. Let's take a look at a couple of them. For example, it's much more important to detect that you have something in front of the car whilst we're on the topic of cars than to know what it is. Whatever it might be, you want to know that it is there so you can act accordingly. You don't want to accelerate into an object that's in front of you. It is also important, however, to distinguish between what it is you're seeing. Is it a solid object? Is it a wall? Is it a box? Or is it just a bunch of leaves blown together by the wind that might not present such a great risk to your vehicle? Now, in helping with these detections, it is often a lot more important to have a look at the behavior of the object instead of be able to classify it very precisely, because a lot of the times the behavior tells a lot more about what it is that you're dealing with than an exact classification would be the best, but sometimes that is harder to acquire. Now, you also have to make sure that you're not trying to replicate the human driver in self-driving cars. You're trying to replace it. Let's move on to what a couple of predictions that our algorithms might give us, present us in terms of dangers. It is, for example, a lot more dangerous to have your algorithm give you a bad prediction with a very high confidence. I imagine you can see why. If your algorithm is telling you you're just facing a bunch of leaves, but it's a wall and its confidence is 100%, you're going to execute the next command accordingly. No problem, it's just a bunch of leaves. You're going to drive straight into it. If you're unsure, you better have your algorithm not be confident to represent this uncertainty, so you can use further methods of detection before you actually take your action. New signals introduced on the road also present a non-trivial problem. Once you have your model trained for your car and a new signal gets introduced, how do you incorporate it? How do you make sure your model is then able to recognize that signal as well? A very interesting case I heard about was when a company was specifically trying to trick one of these cars into an unwanted behavior, and they were actually able to manage to get the car to merge into an oncoming lane by simply sticking 3 stickers onto the road, thereby making the algorithm of the car think that it is now in a merging lane, and it followed these directions instead of keeping to the lane. So there's still a lot to do here, but I think it's inevitable that these technologies are going to be part of our everyday lives. So better to work on them and to think them through than to just push them under the rug or not use them at all.